Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Stefan's Kitchen. And this time I'm going to be doing, shouldn't say one certain particular thing, I'm going to be doing an entire meal, which is going to be barbecued T-bone steak with corn on the cob and some asparagus as well. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. So obviously, first off, we're going to be starting with meat, and I, of course, choose some T-bones, as I let you guys know a little bit earlier. Um, and like I said, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be marinating these. And first, we're going to be using some Worcestershire sauce, however the hell you want to pronounce it. And you want to start off with making sure you shake up the bottle to make sure all the good flavorings on the bottom aren't stuck to the bottom. And you can be generous with this because, again, this is a marinade. You're going to want your meat to taste, take in the flavor of everything that you're adding to it. And, yeah, it's not really much of a recipe because, as you can see, well, I'm going to be using salt next for the season it. So, and as I was saying, this is not really a recipe. This is more or less, like I said, this is a marinade, and it's more of a preparation video more than a recipe video. So, just like I said, follow along. Use whatever amounts you think are correct because that's all that this is all about. You don't have to worry about having like 1 teaspoon exactly of salt or, like, oh, should I have used 1.5 teaspoons because my meat's a little bit bigger or a little smaller? It's like, no, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And obviously next we're going to be using some pepper on top of our steaks. And this is pretty much how I always like to season my meat. If I'm not even going to marinate this and I was going to put it on the barbecue, I would do the exact same thing. Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, and of course garlic. And I usually use garlic powder when I'm using, when I'm outside cooking barbecuing the meat on the grill itself without a marinade. Jesus, that took a bit to get out. And as you can see here, I'm going to be using minced garlic that you can actually pick up in nice little bottles at the store now. Things are getting a little bit more convenient. But to be quite honest, this stuff doesn't have as much flavor as real garlic does. And I mean, a garlic press doesn't cost that much. I mean, you can get one of those for like $3 or $4 or $5 or whatever. And basically all you do is just shuck the skins off of your garlic. And you can just press those, put it into your little garlic press down. And then you got some minced garlic. And I also added some mustard on this. I believe I ought to use, it was bold mustard or honey. Yeah, it was bold mustard, okay. And then, of course, don't be afraid. Get your hands dirty. Get in there. Rub all those spices and flavorings right into your meat. You want to make sure that, your meat's going to take on all these flavors so that when it's cooked that you can taste all that in there and you get a more succulent piece of meat. And we should be just about done there. And next, as you can see, that looks really delicious. And those are nice thick T-bones. I'm loving that. And you might be wondering, how come you didn't do the other side? Well, again, because it's a marinade, everything is going to flavor the alcohol. I'm going to be using beer for my marinade. There's other things you can use for marinades. I've used orange juice. I've used apple juice for pork and stuff. Is real fun. You can use colas or something like that if you'd like. I've used wine. Wine's a really nice flavoring agent for steak as well, red wine especially. But as you can see, I used beer with mine, and nothing in particular, just a Canadian Light, just something I like to drink every now and again. And on these steaks in particular, I don't usually do this, but I picked up some cilantro because I was pretty happy to find some, and want the world's most abundant, herb, because it grows so much in the wild as well. And it's funny, you've probably seen it grow in the wild and you just didn't know that it was edible. But yeah, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this on, and as this is seasoning, I'm probably just going to turn this over once before cooking. And as you can see here on my grill, I have some corn. I also have some wieners and asparagus, and here we go, we zoomed in on the asparagus. And what I did with the asparagus is I actually rubbed some butter all over those. Just melted some butter, took a brush, and just lightly went over all the different spears there. And as you can see, they're nice and glazed. So that way they won't burn, and they also add that nice buttery flavor to the nuttiness of the asparagus itself. And I kind of done the same thing with the corn, but instead of just using butter, once the butter was melted, I took a little bit of barbecue sauce, squirted it in the butter itself, mixed it up, and put it right onto the corn. And as you can see here, there's our marinade. We obviously drained off all the excess liquid that we will not be using, obviously. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now, as you can see here, our meat has been cooking nice and well. Our asparagus has been charred nicely up here on the top. And actually, I think I moved them down to the bottom rack just to let them char a little bit more. And as you can see here, oh yeah, delicious, delicious char on that corn and stuff. And well, wieners are wieners, and we got a little hungry, considering there was like 8 wieners first, and now there's only 4. But everyone enjoys eating wieners. Geez, that sounds bad. But yeah, just another look at our steaks. I just recently sauced them, so one more turn over and another saucing, and they should be almost ready to go. And as you can see here, I have the perfect char on the outside, and these should come out to be about a rare, medium rare. And I find on a barbecue, if it's marinated properly, that's all you're going to need it at anyways. That meat's going to just melt in your mouth, and you won't have to worry about it, you know, tasting awful or being mushy or anything like that. It's going to be the perfect steak, I can guarantee you. So I'll probably just do a quick little close-up on these just to make sure that you guys can see all this. Unfortunately, I took out all the excess audio because I don't want there to be, you know, wind blowing in the camera microphone or anything like that. You know, I guess I could have added some sizzling sounds, but anyways. And once you're done, you can have this as your final product. And as you can see, it's just a nice couple spears of asparagus, a corn on the cob, and a roll to go along with your steak. And that's pretty much a perfect meal in my opinion. Usually a lot of people like to obviously have, you know, there's other sides you can try. Baked potatoes always nice. And I'm sure there's going to be times this summer that I'm going to be working on a lot more summer-based foods, how to make different kinds of potato salads, macaroni salads, just good traditional barbecue sides, more or less. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this because I did, and it certainly did taste delicious. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.